Well, hey everybody, I'm here with Rob Wyckoff, and this is his amazing DeLorean Time Machine replica. And I thought it would be great if we asked Rob a little bit of more information about how did this come to be, and how did you build this? Was it a kit? Was it something that you just built, or how did that work out?
Oh, sure. So it came to be in 2019. I had told my wife I wanted to buy a DeLorean Time Machine, and she basically told me no. And said buy a regular DeLorean and make your own time machine. So I did. In that process, I joined a DeLorean forum on Facebook, and I joined. I still remember. I said, "Hey guys, Rob from Texas, VIN number 4202. I'm going to build a time machine." And the hate and the vitriol that was thrown at me was incredible. They said, "Oh, another rolling meth lab on wheels. What are you going to do? Go to Home Depot and bolt a bunch of PVC pipe to it, and blah blah blah." So. Somebody sent me a message that said, hey, there's actually a DeLorean Time Machine builders group, and they sent me an invite. So I joined that, and when I joined that, I was able to walk in those people's footsteps that had built these cars before, and they knew all the intricacies of what things needed to be and how they needed to be put together, what parts you needed to, kind of accumulate, what you need to make.
So the pushback you got wasn't that they just thought it was a crazy idea. They just wanted to make sure you did it right.
No, so there's two types of DeLorean owners or people who like DeLoreans. There's purists that think that the time machine is an abomination.
Okay.
And then there's time machine folks that love the time machine and they love DeLoreans as well. Yeah. So and there, for whatever reason, there seems to be a fair amount of DeLorean purists that think the time machine is an abomination.
Yeah, well, I would think that for a lot of the population, they wouldn't know what DeLorean is if it hadn't been for the movies.
I agree 100%. I don't think there is a more iconic single vehicle in the entire world. I mean, I stretch, maybe the Ford Model T, maybe a 65 Mustang, a Testarossa Ferrari, a Lamborghini Countach. I mean, there's a DeLorean Time Machine. There's just certain things that are just absolutely iconic and that everybody on the face of planet Earth can see and recognize.
Well, what about the one right behind us? Does that qualify?
I would say that is absolutely a contemporary example of that. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
so
very cool. So how long did it take you to actually build this?
It took me just under 2 years, about 1,000 hours.
Wow.
So it was a good project for COVID. I was saving a lot of time not having to drive to the office. We were working from home remotely, so I was able to get it done, primarily during the COVID lockdowns.
Okay, and you did it predominantly yourself, or did you have help putting it together?
I did it 100% myself.
Oh,
now there's a couple of parts that I didn't personally make. The time circuits, which of course are iconic there in the center of the dash. Those are made by a gentleman in Europe. His name's Eric, and he does a phenomenal job with those. But everything else, pretty much put together myself. So for the vents, had sheets of aluminum, water jetted, and had to learn how to welded them. Had to just everything was pretty intense. Thankfully, there was a gentleman that had put together a CAD file, so all of the aluminum parts on the car, whether it's the bulkhead on the inside, the flux capacitor, everything goes to, or some of the center console pieces, the vents in the back. Basically just had to hand the file to this water jet shop, and they handed me back several boxes of sharp aluminum, and I had to figure out how to put it together like a big jigsaw puzzle. Okay.
Well, last question is, what inspired you to make this? What was the driving factor?
I just have always loved the movies. I'm a child of the 80s, born in the late 70s, grew up in the 80s, and so I named my son Maverick. I love Top Gun. I love Back to the Future.
Right.
I love cars, and that's pretty much it. I have motor oil pumping through my veins.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time and explaining your wonderful DeLorean Time Machine and the amazing work that you did. I do some restoration work too, and just the craftsmanship looks outstanding. So you should be very proud of that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a labor of love.